YouTube, good evening, what the crap is going on? HeirofCarthage back. Sorry it's been a couple of weeks. I know a lot of you get pretty frustrated at that, but before you get too frustrated, let Air remind you that sometimes things get a little bit crazy. I do work a full-time job. This is not my full-time job, and I'm not going to get into details about what my full-time job is, just because it's not crazy professional, but I do work in the retail industry, and it was around Christmas time, so obviously that means that I'm busy, because this is the time of year where we make our money, and I am responsible for millions of dollars worth of expenses. So it does keep me very busy, and when things go wrong, like they did this last couple of weeks, it means that my time must be spent fixing it, and then what time I have off, because no, I'm not busy 24 hours a day working, I would prefer to spend with my wife, which I think you all can understand. So in any case, I am back, and I want to continue the Otomo campaign. I did try to bring you some online footage tonight, because I was pretty excited to maybe get back in the game and play some online battles. But the battles that I ended up in were really... one of them was in small unit settings, which I'm not going to bash on, because I know a lot of you be like, we can't afford a good computer. I understand, but from a filming perspective, small unit settings is annoying, because it doesn't look very good. And I'll continue this discussion once I get out onto the battle map, which I'm going to challenge this army that's bothering me in Booz, or whatever place this is in Armasuo. That's it, yep. Alright, let's get the deployment started, and I'll finish my conversation I was having. Like I said, I wanted to bring you some online battles, it's just they didn't turn out to be good enough to what I want to show you on YouTube. Now that doesn't mean that every battle I show you has to be like top quality or whatever. One of the opponents I did play against was ranked very high, and I was actually very excited because I figured that it would be a really good battle. Whether I won or lost, I could show it, but all it ended up being was him bringing a strange spam of mostly cav, with of course a couple of bow cav and some Dunderbuss cav, or whatever the new shotgun cav is. Basically, I dang near had him because we were probably like an hour into the battle, and I almost had him just on time from the key buildings. But unfortunately he was able to shoot a few of my men with the Dunderbuss cav, and of course it's like an insta-rout when they do shoot you. I killed his, he had a melee general. I managed to kill his general and kill most of his units, and I had the timer down to 3 minutes where I was about to win, but like I said, he got a couple of lucky pot shots off with the Dunderbuss cav, and it swung the whole match. Now, am I going to tell people not to play that way? No, because I guess you bought the game, and you can play it however you want. But to be quite honest, I have had enough. It's kind of fun, once or twice where you get online and someone brings one of those armies and you're like, that was kind of clever, interesting move, stuff like that. I try and be, a good sport about it and not get angry. But then after like 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, I don't even play that many online battles anymore. And I kid you not, every time I get on this game, someone is doing one of those retard spams with mounted gunners or Dunderbuss cav, where they just run around for an hour and try your patience. And yes, again, you can play that way, the units are there, but for the rest of our sake, maybe make like a playlist or something where you want to play that way and like the battle thing, because to be honest, doing it on the ranked playlist is pretty bogus, and it's really not that hard to beat. The problem is that the army that you bring to beat it, which it can be easily defeated, it's just that if you bring an army which easily defeats it and your opponent ends up not bringing that type of army, your army will be good against pretty much nothing except for their Dunderbuss or mounted gunner army, whereas his army is good against lots of different variants. So it definitely puts you at a disadvantage. I kind of honestly wish that CA wouldn't have brought those units out, and here's why. First of all, firing a flintlock rifle from horseback took enough skill. Firing a matchlock rifle from horseback, I'm not even sure that was really possible, and even if you could, the accuracy would have been so poor that you would have caused almost no damage. If any cavalry did carry them, it was more likely that they would ride into battle, dismount, and start shooting. The kickback and all the other, basic qualities behind those types of rifles, I would think, would make them extremely ineffective from horseback. Their accuracy was questionable even off the ground, and you had to be at very close range. So I kind of question whether or not those units should have been added to the game. And some might say, well, Air, you can only bring one of them. It's true. One's enough, though. Like when you have a broken unit like that, in my opinion, one's enough. I definitely think that they should take them out of multiplayer, just because I think that it causes the game to be played in such a way that most people don't enjoy it. And I've also noticed that, maybe it's just because the game's been released for a long time, but the number of players on Shogun 2 is way down. In fact, I want to say more people play Napoleon right now than Shogun 2, and it's probably due to the fact that there's so many troll armies. And not just that, but you've also got the Fall of the Samurai thing, which was kind of fun in and of its own right, but again, I didn't think that it had any place in multiplayer. And yes, you might be saying, but I thought you thought it was fun to play against those armies. It is. It is kind of fun to play against those armies, but, I mean, between Donderbus Cav and then, like, all of the ridiculous rifle units that come on the Fall of the Samurai patch, it really has kind of ruined the fun of multiplayer, in my opinion. Which was definitely in the use of, you know, maneuvering and tactics rather than line up, shoot it out, or you know, pester someone into defeat, basically. So I definitely liked some of the old school Shogun battles better than the new stuff. But in any case, that's enough talk about that. You all may disagree with me. If you do, that's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna like get ticked off at people who don't agree with me, because you don't have to play the game the way I do. I just honestly think that it does ruin the fun of the game. To see it being played that way, unfortunately. I'm going to move up my my Yari Ashigaru, and I'm going to move up my Matchlock Ashigaru into range to fire. This should put me in a position to more quickly knock out the enemy and take fewer casualties, which means less recoup time. I do have some light cav, however they have a ton of Yari Ashigaru, so I'm going to have to watch out where I use it. But I'll use it to run down some enemy units. All of my Matchlocks should be in range, and I hope they have line of sight. This unit over here probably doesn't. But I can at least knock out these other units of Bow Samurai quicker. Those Bow Samurai would cause me a pretty great deal of damage if I didn't move my Matchlock up. Oh, they've got a light cav. Didn't know that. Hopefully they'll get shot down by my Matchlocks. Come on, shoot. Shoot, dummies. Nope. I guess I should have looked at their unit selection a little bit better. Alright, I'm going to run back all my Matchlock units and just take them off fire at will. Looks like the enemy light cavs are retreating, so I'm going to pull my own out. At this point, I've got the enemy in a full charge, so I'll just go into spear wall. Should be able to pretty easily defeat them. There are a lot of enemy troops trying to get around my flank here, so I'm going to have to move my archers into a safer position. I do believe that the most part of the enemy army will rout.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord.
Got some bows firing at my general. I'm gonna let these Matchlocks open up on these Yari Ashigaru and see if I can rout them. I'm gonna have to keep them moving. My army is taking a pretty good throttling here. I do have a lot less, where's my light cav, dang it. I'm going to take my light cav around and see if I can hit some hammer and anvil charges, take out their bows. I'm going to have my Matchlocks do some firing over here. They did rout my imported Matchlocks, which kind of stinks. It does look like the fight's turning in my favor, though. That was pretty poorly managed on my part. I should have spread out my Yari line, and then that wouldn't have happened. Dadgum, those stupid Yari Ashigaru won't rout. Those guys have some pretty incredible morale, considering that their army is not anywhere near them, and they're getting shot by Matchlocks. I'm gonna pour my light cav in there to try and kill some of these routing units. The enemy general is up there, but I feel pretty confident that I can kill him. My Matchlocks are going to go ahead and rout these guys. Alright, my light cav's pretty much running amok back here. They're probably getting a lot of kills. Yeah, it looks like they've racked up about 50-60 kills each. I'll go ahead and attack the enemy avatar. Light cav does pretty good versus an enemy avatar. So I'm going to go ahead and let them attack him, and it's usually just because of their bonus versus cav that they do well. But I mean, hey, that's all it really takes. There are kind of some regrouped pockets of enemy resistance here. And apparently I just ran into one of them with my general, because my general is thrashed. I better pay more attention here. A lot of their units are coming back from routing just because they had so many men. Their army was bigger than mine.
shameful display!
There goes the enemy avatar, though.
My lord, a glorious victory will
Wow.
soon be
I definitely don't know
yours.
that I would call it glorious, but victory was indeed mine there. Let's get back to the campaign map, and I'll kind of explain some of the things I did wrong there. Alright, so I am back on the campaign map here. So what did I do wrong there? I just definitely did not stretch out my army enough. So it allowed the enemy to kind of get around my flanks and give me a lot of trouble there. And my reaction was way too slow to the enemy light cav. I should have remembered that enemy light cav was in the vicinity. I do believe that I can probably finish off this enemy army just because all they got left is some Yari Ashigaru. And they don't, well, I guess their general managed to live, which kind of stinks. All I lost was a unit of Yari Ashigaru, so not a big one. Yeah, better to take care of them and not let them run around raiding my farms and whatnot. So we'll move our general back into friendly territory, and we can go ahead and, he's in a little bit of a dangerous spot, I guess. I'm trying to remember where Stand and Fight is at. Stand and Fight is right here, which just means he has to be level 4 instead of level 3, so this one's enables the wedge formation. +1 to command when attacking at sea. +1 to command during ambushes. +1 melee defense for his bodyguard. That one's going to be most helpful because it's going to improve the rate at which we master the Bushido arts. So that's probably more helpful than anything else that's there. Now, I forgot to put this missionary with my army too. I thought, well, no, there is a missionary with the army. That usually increases their morale. Let's see if this province is converted to Christianity. It's not, but it's getting closer, and they're going to be a little bit angry during this turn, but let's go ahead and remind ourselves what we're working on as far as the arts. Looks like we're trying to master this and get, I think it's fire arrows. It's one of these. This one, yeah, enables fire arrows. That's what we're trying to get. Okay, let's go ahead and end the turn. And fire arrows, of course, are useful during siege, and also especially during naval battles. However, I mean, I am using some cannon-based and matchlock-based ships, so it's not going to be all the world, but and I'm going to be using a lot of matchlock-based units, but it's still going to be helpful for me to have, I think. Looks like I trained a unit of Naginata Samurai. One of my missionaries increased in rank. This guy's a level 3 missionary here. Converting characters, deal with converting provinces. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do one of these. Okay. Let's move my general back over here so he can start. We're still at war with the Ashi, so let's see. My capital doesn't have much by way of defense. I am a little bit worried about these clans down here. I probably do want to attack them. That's probably why I was starting to train Naginata Samurai here. I'm making a large amount of money, so I am going to go ahead and continue to train some Nagi Samurai, and they'll kind of make up a core of one of my armies. They'll be, they're not quite as good, probably, I mean, I don't know, they're pretty good in single player. They're definitely not bad by any means. So let's see, army, recruitment. I got one more coming, let's get another one. And then I'll train some troops nearby to try and reinforce this army. So I'll be training Nagi Samurai there. I'll need like probably 4 or 5 of them. I can bring in these imported Matchlock Ashigaru. And once I get the right technology, I can bring in the Portuguese Tercios. So that'll be fun. I think for now that's all I'm going to keep training. I've got, you know, kind of a big peasant army up here, and it looks like I can recruit Bow Cav here too, and to be quite honest, that's going to be kind of handy. I'm going to whip a couple of those out here. I do need some Katana Samurai, because as you notice, my army's pretty weak when it comes to melee, and I am going to recruit another missionary. The more of these guys you have, the better, to be honest. Army. So I forgot I got a Metsuke and a missionary here. We'll use the missionaries to start converting the provinces around us. Go ahead and end the turn. Overall, we're doing pretty well, but we're going to need to expand our influence here and get a little more powerful. We probably want to be ready to fight off any enemies that we might make in Kyushu, and we're going to want to finish off the Aoshi here because they're going to be pretty powerful. Let's see. So we can now research the fire arrows. Can't do the calligraphy thing yet. That would speed up the rate at which I'm researching. Okay, this is where I got my two Nanban ships. I'm going to get rid of this Wako trade ship. That's just a waste of upkeep. And we're going to scupper it. And I'll keep the medium Bune and the Bokabaya. Those are going to be useful ships. So let's take my ships back around to this area. I'll take them back up to this port. And then back over here, we'll see if maybe I can train some Matchlock Kabayas. Bow Kabaya, I can't. Firebomb Kabaya. I might have to upgrade the port itself to get the Matchlock Kabaya. Firebomb, Otomo, Matchlock Kabaya. Yeah, so I need to upgrade the port itself, which means that I need the resource of wood, which I don't have. And then I need mastery of the waves as well. So we'll get there soon, and I'll train some more ships. Okay, my general's army is retraining. This city's being converted. Let's go ahead and upgrade that to a military port. And I'll probably want to fortify this city a little. I've got a little bit of extra food, so we'll do that. And then I want to make sure all the rest of my farms have been upgraded just so I've got all the extra food possible. Meaning that I can have the extra food to build larger fortifications in some of my main cities. Having a couple of big fortresses makes it pretty hard for people to counterattack and get past your giant fortress very effectively.
Skilled swordsman with bow cavalry.
Okay, got some bow cav and some katana samurai. Still making some really good money. Let's check all my farms. I think I've upgraded all these back here. So yep, that one's been upgraded. That one's been upgraded. That one's been upgraded. That one's been upgraded. All of them been upgraded. Okay, good. Looks like I can build another building in this town. So I got a warhorse stable and a bow dojo. I don't want to build a sword school because I've already got one. I'm trying to remember. Seems like you can get something handy off the encampment. Allows you to build an armory or a barracks. Proving grounds. I think I'm going to go ahead and build an encampment. If I remember right, it leads to some pretty interesting buildings. Upgrade to a military port over there as well. Okay, my guys have retrained pretty quickly here, which is to be expected. And this province should be very close to being converted to Christianity. Yeah, it already is. It's already 50%. Let's go see if we can use this missionary to stir up some ruckus. He's not the best, but we'll give him a little experience by coming over here. You can incite revolt with the missionaries, which means that there'll just be rebels there when you come through. That's good and bad. Sometimes it makes it easier, and then other times when you get a revolt going, you know, you're going to create a little more trouble than you expect, because sometimes the armies that it spawns for the computer are quite large. Alright, so let's discuss a couple goals here. Like I said, I'm going to train the army here. I'm going to make a push to take all of Kyushu, which is going to turn some people against me, but they're going to turn against me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I think that I've got a big enough infrastructure built up that I'm not going to have to depend much on trade. Let's take a look at the diplomacy, though. Looks like pretty much no one likes me, which is to be expected, which is another reason why me going through the motions of betraying these people is really not going to make any difference. That is one of the major disadvantages of being a Christian clan, is that pretty much everyone else hates you because you're different. So it's just something that you got to be ready for. But I'm feeling pretty confident that because of our position on Kyushu, it's going to leave us plenty strong. So once I secure Kyushu, I'll then take that army and make a run to Shikoku, and then I'll be running. I'm going to start with just my main daimyo here, but I'm going to train another army out of Suo and Buzen, and we'll take that army and either run on the north or the south part of Honshu, and we'll make our push towards Kyoto and take down the Ashikaga Shogunate. So that's kind of the overall plan of this campaign, and we'll just kind of make it happen here. Looks like I'm training some Katana Samurai here. I can always bolster these armies over time too. Looks like I got my guys training there. Recruitment. So I got my 2 bow cav from here. I'm going to leave the 2 light cav for my second army, and I'll use the 2 bow cav for that army. Then I'll train a couple of more bow cav for the next army that I'm going to have. And then I'll probably train some Katana Samurai over here for that army as well, and then we'll take one of these generals that I have here and take them out on the journey. Is there any buildings that I'm missing back here? Because I do want to be as up-to-date as possible, and I also probably want to go ahead and research the stuff to where I can build even better churches, because that'll also help spread the influence of Christianity to surrounding provinces, which is just going to help me. I also need to build a navy to guard my trade lanes, and then once I take the rest of Kyushu, I'll secure the remaining trade lanes. But once I turn on the Ito, they're no doubt going to start attacking my trade lanes, and then the Ouchi already have some ships back there as well. I know some of you don't like the way I pronounce these Japanese things, and I appreciate you giving me the correct pronunciation, but let's face it, Air's probably never going to get that right, so, I'll try and implement it, but if I don't, then, don't take a whole lot of offense to it, because that's just going to be the way it is, I think. I kind of like to get 3 or 4 Katana Samurai. I don't need a whole bunch of them. If you get too loaded up on these types of armies, you'll ruin your income. But I think for now I'm good. Let's see, so I've got another Naginata Samurai there. And got a couple of bow cav training here. Let's recruit a couple of bow samurai for that army. And then, I wanted to say I could train some Matchlock Ashigaru in one of these. But it looks like all I can do is imported Matchlock Ashigaru, but that may be better. Their stats look pretty decent except for the reload. I think it's the imported ones that come with 120 men though, so let's get a couple of those. I could get the European cannons, and I may just to show them to you all, but really they're not very good. So I find them to be kind of a waste of money. Plus you have to pay the upkeep cost. And then of course for my main navy I'll be using those 2 Nanban trade ships to control everything that I need to, and they'll pretty much help me do that. However, I am going to train some Matchlock Kabayas and medium Bunais and some other ships. Looks like my trade route's getting raided over here. Let's find out who's raiding it. The Imagawa. I declared war on them earlier to knock them off this trade route, so understandably they're a little bit upset. Let's see if my 2 Thrash ships can somehow manage to route this one. Kind of doubt it, but we'll see if we get lucky. Yep. I guess I should have repaired those guys before I tried that, but oh well. I can probably start training some ships from over here. I wonder which provinces have wood. I don't require... ooh, I forgot there's a gold mine up here too, so I want to press for that. Yeah, I don't remember where there's any wood. There may not be any, and then since no one wants to trade with me, that's going to make things difficult. Okay, well, whatever. I'll be alright for now. Recruitment. Got the bow samurai being recruited. Let's look over here on my next Katana Samurai. I think one more Katana Samurai, and I'll probably go ahead and keep this army as is. Except for leaving the light cav, like I said, to support the next army that I start up over here. The Ouchi have a small army here. Let's see what kind of effect the missionary is having here. Christianity is already on the rise. And if we want, we could take my more experienced missionary and take him over there, because I'm probably not going to need his support with the army, to be honest. And there is a Matsuke over here that belongs to the Ouchi, however you say it, Ouchi. Let's see if we can go apprehend him with my Matsuke. Apprehension failed. That's unfortunate. Alright. Let's go ahead and end another turn, and I do think that we want to take Nagato, and then we'll move on to the Iwami province and take the gold mine that's up there. Looks like he's going after my missionary there. Unfortunately, he was not able to apprehend him, which is good. Matsukes are pretty effective, and a lot of times they do end up apprehending my guys. Looks like my trade routes were being routed. Apprehension attempt. One's still being routed, or raided, or they were. Looks like the people cleared off for now. I can go repair this medium Bunai if I get lucky enough to get it back to the port. Here's my main ships here. I'm not at war with the Yamana, so I'm not going to start anything with them. I might just place these ships here to guard the crossing, make sure no one can cross, and that it constricts naval movement of any of my enemies through this area as well. So I'll use them in that manner for now. Let's see if we can find my more experienced missionary. See if I can incite a revolt. Incitement failed, unfortunately. See if we can apprehend this Matsuke again. Nope, failed again. Maybe we can convert him. No, I don't want to demoralize the army. Let's see if we can convert this guy. Yep. Alright, so we got rid of their Matsuke. Successful there. It is good to use your agents. I'm definitely not the best one at it, but let's go ahead and end the turn. For those of you who are wondering what videos are coming up next, I appreciate you watching this one. Like I said, I did want to make you an online video, so what I'll do is I'll probably continue the Air Talks Total War series. Hopefully tomorrow I'll make a quick video out of clips that you all have sent me. You can continue to send clips to that email, and I continue to review them. And you can tell me, you know, what topic it is that you think your clip addresses, and I'll show one of those tomorrow to get you some stuff. I mean, if it doesn't work out, I mean, don't hold it against me, but I do think that I'll be able to make the video tomorrow, and then I am off on New Year's Day, and I know that you all didn't get to see a Christmas video this year, so I am planning on trying to bring you a not necessarily a Christmas video this year, but I'm going to bring you Patchy's New Year's traditions and stories, whereas last year we had Patchy's Christmas traditions and stories. If you did not see that video from last year, I suggest you look it up. It is a fun one to watch. I definitely enjoyed it. Let's see, +2 to armor for the units, 2 to replenishment, hunting lodge, replenishment, barracks. Wow, that one's pretty interesting. Proving grounds. I think you gotta have an armory. I might build an armory there. That'll be fun. Alright, let's see. I need one more turn before this army, or actually this army is ready to roll, so let's go ahead and take it. Those guys back in the city. Let's take this army around and go pay a visit to our Ouchi friends. Oh, I forgot it was winter. Darn it. I'm going to take winter attrition. Oh, well. We'll be able to handle it. Let's see if we can... oh, that was my Matsuke. Let's see if we can incite a revolt again. Incitement failed. And we'll see if we can demoralize this army. Alright. That'll help my missionaries increase in rank, too. And the better these guys get, the more of a boon they can be to you. Provinces, that sounds good. I'm going to choose that one again, which is plus zeal to when converting provinces. That's the one I want now. Obviously, I want to make my missionary better at more things as time goes along. Let's go ahead and end the turn, and then we'll take Nagato. And I don't think I'm going to have time to take Iwami in this video, but I might. I might just use my Matsuke to hold Nagato, and I'll go ahead and go take Iwami real quick so we can get some progress rolling here. Getting a hold of that gold mine is going to be definite benefit, and let's see. I'll try and run away. The Wako Raiders are after me. I need to move my ships around there and protect my trade lanes. It's going to be more important than blocking up this area. So let's move over and protect my trade from the Imagawa and the Wako. Or the Wako pirates. And I think my ship sunk out there, which is very possible. Let's see, get my general. I'm just going to auto-resolve this because it's not going to be much to see. Peacefully occupy. And it looks like someone has taken, it looks like the Yamana have taken this area. Wow, they've got a lot of territory. In fact, it looks like the Ouchi have been destroyed, which means it probably won't be a bad time to go ahead and declare war on our next enemy. Let's see, they got a market and a foot archery thing. Foot archery might not be bad. Let's see, let's go ahead and take this army. I'll wait right here, and then I'll attack the Yamana on the next turn. And let's use our Matsuke to kind of calm down the settlement. And they should calm down once the building is repaired. Let's see, this settlement over here. Train a couple more Katana Samurai. I should have some bow cav, a couple of bow samurai, and then I'll take a few of these Yari Ashigaru. We'll start moving to Suo, and this will be our army that will attend to the areas in the south. And I might just leave no general in this army and see if we can get someone promoted to act as the general. Let's see, got my army here, got some Nagi Samurai. I'm just going to kind of hold off on Kyushu at the moment. I don't really want to start too many fights at once. Of course, it looks like the Yamana have some navies. They've got quite a few territories there. I'm definitely going to need to build more ships soon. And we'll go take out those Wako scum who are raiding our trade routes here. They'll probably run away. Nope, they're not going to run away. It looks like we got 3 Wako medium bunets. So that'll be a pretty easy battle here. Alright, so it is raining. I'm going to go ahead and start deployment during the rain, and I think that that's going to help out because the enemy fire arrows will probably be less effective, and it's going to make my cannon ships that much more devastating, which I'm not even sure you can use flaming arrows in the rain. We'll find out. Let's go ahead and start deployment and see what the AI is up to. Let's see, Warcry. Yeah, you can't use flaming arrows in the rain. So if you're using Nanban ships like me, you definitely want to deploy in the rain if you get the opportunity. Now I don't know what effect it has on the Matchlocks on my ship or anything else as well. I didn't know it was glitched here too. It looks like, I know in the Fall of the Samurai stuff, if you attack the enemy navy, they will not move, and it looks like that they're going to use the same glitch here, which is going to be kind of boring, but whatever. My cannons have a pretty massive range, so we'll just move up to here and open fire, and if they don't move, then I'll simply rout them from that position. And I'll go ahead and fast forward so that you'll don't have to watch all of the boring movement here. The effects on this game really are nice. I can't tell you enough, though, how much I'm getting excited for Rome 2. That game is going to be amazing. In fact, I'll probably have eventually like an update video and tell you some of the news that's going on surrounding Rome 2. Because, I mean, it is pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm extremely excited. So, see, I can just open fire from all the way back here, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let both my ships sit here and open fire, and it looks like that is going to cause the enemy fleets to move forward finally. But without their fire arrows, they really don't have any chance whatsoever of sinking or routing my Nanban ships, as they're full of, like, you know, hundreds of guys with matchlocks and the cannons and whatnot, so this really ought to be pretty simple. See their ship taking a pretty good hammering here. And I'm just going to leave these 2 ships kind of off to the side. Don't want to get them damaged. I can probably win this fight without taking any damage. Yeah, and someone told me that you can't sink ships outright anymore, which it does look like they've patched it to where that's the case. But you can see that I've damaged the hull on this ship very badly, and it's really just a matter of time before they rout. I might actually bring in my arrow ships from the flank now, and it'll be easier for them to kill these ships since they're, the side of their ships are all battered, and it should make their guys a little more prone to arrow fire. And again, since there's no flaming arrows, I don't care if they get close to my Nanban ships, because my my guys with matchlocks will shoot them down. Eventually, I will be, you know, churning out some siege tower bunets and some matchlock kabayas, and that'll definitely be a very helpful addition. These ships can definitely take a lot more of a pummeling than they used to be able to. I'm not quite sure why they nerfed the Nanban ship. I mean, to be honest, it should be very strong. These ships really wouldn't have stood a chance. A couple of cannon shots really would have been all it took. Okay, so I got my medium bunet coming in. This should help kill some of their guys. Yep, they've routed. So I'll go ahead and move up on their remaining ships here. There we go. Yeah, the matchlocks are firing off the decks of off the decks of my Nanban ship. Yeah, these guys are pretty badly screwed here. Like I said, with all the damage that my cannon does to him, my bow ships ought to be causing relatively good damage as well. Yep, we've routed another ship, and it looks like their last one's probably about to go as well. So yeah, even though they've nerfed it to where you can't sink these ships outright, it does still cause some pretty... Well, this ship is sinking, actually. It does still cause massive damage. It looks like they're going to come right up to me. It's fine with me. Hit the work right here. There we go. That'll be the end of them. This ship's definitely going under over here. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed that. Let's get back to the campaign map. Alright, there's the results from that battle. I guess I may have lost a couple of men here and there, but looks like for the most part, going to be a massive defeat of the Wako pirates, kind of as we expected. My end comes down mostly due to the training of how many samurais that I've brought on board, which is understandable. Their upkeep is considerable. Looks like I don't have the money to upgrade the terrace farming. These guys are pretty much replenished. Let's go ahead and declare war on the Yamana and start a big push on them. They've got some samurai units here. I'll go ahead and show you this battle, even though it's going to be a pretty easy one, and then we'll take their city. Alright, let's get the deployment underway. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and select all my troops. Scooch them back a little. Let's see. I want my Katana samurai up here. The enemy shouldn't be fielding any good cavalry. I'll line up in front of my Katana samurai with Matchlocks. Of course, I'll try and get a volley off and then retreat my men. I'm going to group these guys for just a second so I can scoot them back. And then up in front of them, actually I'm going to put my bows behind this line of men, because I do have my bow cav, so that means I don't really need to worry about my my bows being up in the very front. And I'll keep my spears back here to protect those guys. I can ungroup this, put my general back. Alright, so that should just leave my bow cav at this point. Okay. The enemy troops did have some samurai units, which are going to be, decent melee, but I'm probably going to rip them up pretty bad between my bow cav and my matchlock units. Let's get this started. I did change the battle difficulty to hard, just to try and, make it slightly more fair for the computer. And a lot of you think it's funny that I don't play on anything harder than normal on the campaign difficulty, but that's simply because I don't like the way it becomes more difficult. It becomes more difficult because the computer basically gets cheats, and I've explained this before, so that's why I don't like playing on anything over normal. I've done it before. I just find the game not enjoyable. If you want to do it, that's great. But of course, the point of my channel here is definitely not to be bragging about like how I'm the best player or something. So I totally don't really care, I guess, if people think that it makes me less good, because that was never the purpose to begin with. Let's go ahead and move up my guys a little more here. I'm going to pull my bow cav up on the flank and see if I can kind of goad the enemy into moving. I'm not going to have a very good position with my matchlocks in this particular case. In fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to undo the unit grouping here. I'm going to take my Yariashigaru, and I'll line my matchlocks up with them over here. And then I'll move my Katana samurai up, and I'll back them up with my my bows. They've got some bow samurai opening up on my bow cav, so I'm going to pull back. See if I can get them to waste their fire arrows there. Looks like their bow samurai are going to open up with my katana samurai, so I am going to go ahead and start the fight. They had to have a lot of bows, and they're causing a great deal of damage to my katana samurai, so I'll just hit them from the other flank. The enemy's focusing all their fire on my katana samurai, which is actually pretty smart, to be honest. I'll pull my bow cav in to start taking flank shots again. I'm going to try and reinforce with a couple of my Yarashigaru and flank with a couple. See, my Matchlocks are going to get some flank shots over here. That's going to be very handy. I've got my bow cav in the rear of the enemy army here. So this ought to be a pretty quick knockout. See if I can hit the enemy general with my Yarashigaru. Enemy general is trying to chase me down. I'll go ahead and take him on. Like I said, my katana samurai took a little bit of a beating here, but I'm pretty sure my guys are going to prevail. They are up against some other samurai units, and then we're about to kill the enemy general as well. He's going to get a fair few kills on my bow cav. And on hard, it doesn't really improve the computer's ability to maneuver. I mean, it kind of does sometimes, but one of the things it'll do is it'll buff their strength a little bit, which again isn't my favorite way to see the computer get better, but at least it does make them better and makes them a little more of a challenge for me. So I definitely don't mind playing with hard battle difficulty on it. Again, you're going to see their units hold out a little longer than they otherwise would. Looks like the last of their units are about to break here. They've got some Naginata samurai. Alright, it looks like that's going to be the end of this enemy force, and we can now take control of Iwami, which is going to be a huge financial gain for us. Alright, there's the battle results. We put down the Yamana army, although I must admit we did take quite a few losses. Here is the town of Iwami, though, and we'll go ahead and capture it, which is going to allow my guys to start retraining, and of course starting to spread our influence into this province. So that's where I'm going to end this particular clip. I'm going to build a Christian church here as the first building, and I will pick up this campaign again sometime soon. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you back tomorrow with some more